Hello and welcome to my Frost Magicka Warden Vampire PvE build for solo. It, like Absolute Zero, is designed to be a fun theme build that can do a majority of solo content. But as Greymoor is releasing soon, it has a unique Frost Vampire theme to embrace the new content. Please keep in mind that this is not the most optimal build, but has been optimized as much as possible. Starting off with race, I suggest Breton, since our Magicka skills will cost a lot more. Having the cost reduction really helps, as this build is based around vampirism, its stages do matter. Using Vampire Stage 4 means that your ultimate, Spammable, and Blood Mist will cost far less, and you also gain some access to damage mitigation, cheaper sprinting invisibility, and when you exit stealth, invisibility or Blood Mist, you gain plus 300 spell damage. However, if you just want to use the skills and have less downsides from vampirism, you can remain at stage 1. Remember that you must feed on humanoid NPCs to increase your vampirism stage. For your Mundus, I recommend any Mundus stone that you think you need. I'm using the Shadow for bonus critical damage, but you can use the Atronach for Magicka regen, Apprentice for spell damage, or Mage for max Magicka. For our food, we are using the Mistral Banana Bunny Hash. Moving over to armor, we are using 5 light armor on our body, with 1 medium and 1 heavy on your monster set pieces. The sets I'm using are Ice Heart for my monster set, and for the body armor, what I suggest depends on what sets you have available. If you have False God's Devotion, I recommend it for the body, but if you don't, which is also fine, I recommend using Necropotence here instead. For the jewellery and front bar, I suggest Mother's Sorrow. Your back bar will be the Maelstrom Frost Staff, which lets us deal bonus light and heavy attack damage to enemies in our wall. If you don't have this staff, you can use an additional Mother's Sorrow one. On your armor, I suggest your chest and legs have the infused trait, but the rest have divines, with all of your armor being enchanted with max Magicka enchantments. For your jewellery, you can use either infused or arcane. I use 2 spell damage glyphs and 1 Magicka recovery glyph, but you can swap them out for more recovery if you need it. For your weapon traits, I recommend using both infused. With your front bar, I recommend frost damage, and your back bar, I recommend berserk or absorb Magicka. Iceheart is the monster helmet from Direfrost Keep. The next 2 sets can be purchased from the guild trader, but in case you don't want to spend any money and would rather farm, Necropotence is the overland set in Rivenspire, and Mother's Sorrow is the overland set for Deshaan. The Maelstrom Ice Staff can be gotten from normal Maelstrom Arena. Next we move on to the skills. Arterial Burst is our spammable for this build. This is a really powerful close range magic damage spammable, and when you reach low health it will always be a critical, which synergizes really well with our chilled status effect, and will additionally deal a lot more damage based on your missing health. Frost Reach is our single target damage over time ability that can apply chilled. It's important that we use this to help proc the chilled status effect. Inner Light is just a passive slot skill to boost our max Magicka. It also gives us Major Prophecy, which helps us with bonus critical chance. We don't ever need to cast this skill. Deep Fissure is our non-negotiable burst damage skill. It deals a ton of damage in an area and applies Major Breach. We would be missing out if we didn't use it. Bird of Prey is our other passive slot skill. It's used for minor berserk while slotted, and it's also useful to run around in the overworld. Eternal Guardian is being slotted here purely for its bonus damage via the Advanced Species passive. We aren't using it, and it doesn't steal our saved ultimate points if we accidentally click it. On our back bar, we are using Winter's Revenge. It's a really nice AoE damage over time ability that fits very well with the theme and helps to apply chilled a little bit more. Unstable Wall of Elements is our other AoE damage over time ability that we will always stack on top of Winter's Revenge. It procs our light and heavy attack bonus on our Maelstrom Staff and applies a better snare. It will explode when it runs out of duration, dealing a decent amount of frost damage in a burst. Arctic Blast is a good burst heal that will be comboing a lot with Blood Mist. It deals frost AoE damage for 5 seconds after casting and will continue to heal us a little bit if we aren't in Blood Mist. The frost damage will stun enemies after 3 ticks of damage. Blood Mist is a really powerful defensive skill that turns us into basically an unkillable Blood Mist. It reduces our damage taken by 75% and makes us completely immune to all forms of CC and deals damage to nearby enemies, while returning its damage done as healing. Using this straight after Arctic Blast is super powerful, and standing in our Frost AoEs with this looks really cool, feeding into the theme. It should only be used when you're taking a huge amount of damage and need to survive, as, while in this form, you don't regenerate any Magicka, save for Betty, and you cannot use any other skills or attacks, as they will break it. Betty Netch is used for the magic return and major sorcery, which works well inside Blood Mist. It also purges negative effects every 5 seconds and can be recast for free to heal a small amount and remove one negative effect. Our ultimate is Swarming Scion. While in this form, bats swarm around us, adding to our area of effect damage, and while in this form our max stats are all increased, including our Magicka, and therefore our damage. It lasts for 20 seconds. We also heal for 15% of all of the damage that we deal. It's quite powerful. CP is highly subjective, but this is what I use. Feel free to pause the video. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or join the ESO Frost Discord to ask me directly. It has a link in the description.